Good evening. It's Lisa, and it's time to fall into a little bit of ease. Today I was using vetiver, that smell that I so much like. It helps to, just by way of smell, automatically bring me into a little ease. It lets me know that I've arrived at this place. And for me, this is a place, a setup of end of the day and relaxation, being able to shut off, shut down from the day that I've just had. Thanks for joining me today for a short practice. Today I'm going to keep some blocks near me. Again, I'm on this um, striped blanket so you can see me a little better. I have a tendency to wear dark clothes on a black floor, which does not record really well, right? Let's start today, as we've been doing in this place of cross-legged sit, perhaps making it a little easier by putting the blocks underneath your knees. Let's just take a few breaths and arrive here together. Arrive here to the sound of my voice if you choose to keep your eyes closed. Arrive in your space, your selected place of ease and calm, a place where perhaps you can allow your mind to just settle. As always, your body will know to keep a listening ear if you're at home and have to be a little diligent or vigilant to your surroundings. Your mind can pay that much attention, which means it's allowed to shut off as much as available to you today. Notice how you're sitting. How does it feel? Has your breath already come to ease? Are you forcing yourself to sit here? Just notice. If you'd like to invite just a little more ease, let's take a bigger than normal inhale through your nose, exhale with an audible sigh. And do another one of those. For some of us, just the sigh brings us to ease, right? It's interesting because all of that is training. We know with training, you can get yourself out of any unwanted adrenalized state within 3 breaths. With training, that's available. If you'd like to call in a little more ease, the breath practice is in through the nose, out through an imaginary straw. Just allow your body to hear those instructions on repeat. With training, this is the automatic pattern your body will take. I desire more ease. I'm adrenalized and don't need to be. Let's check in with that gentle flexion extension. Sometimes a little movement is what initiates a little more ease. Maybe a little side bending. Just make it gentle. Almost like you're that tree that's being held up by your lumbar spine, your tree trunk, and it just gets to shift with a breeze, a little bit of rotation, maybe even putting all those emotions together. I'm going to go to a bigger backwards and forward sway, as if your body was falling forward, but you catch it. Right? You have these automatic brakes put into your body. As you topple too far forward, your body will automatically, tighten in the back so you don't fall. We're going to just check in with that mechanism, that it's a reflex that the back of your body tightens. Let's offer the support of our hands in front of us. Any more available to that with this gentle fall forward. Catch yourself with your arms. We support that reflex of wanting to tighten up. Let your arms catch you, maybe even your elbows. Let's offer new position to your body. Blocks can come out of the way. It's going to be my left leg. I'm going to call it your right if you're looking at me on a screen. I'm going to go into this double triangle position. My front leg, my right leg, is going to offer a triangle. So don't have to wedge your heel all the way into your groin. It's going to be a triangle, 90-degree bend or so. My foot lands on the right above the knee of the back leg, my left leg. And I'm going to reach for that back ankle. Don't want that ankle to be way in at your bum. Should be able to touch it right there. Two triangles, double triangle, arm out here for support. Maybe not here on your shoulder. It can be a soft elbow. It's like a little kickstand for yourself. My back bum, my left butt cheek is not resting on the floor. I'm going to gently move it towards the floor. I'd probably feel something in this hip joint. Come out of that. Start to ease down into it. My guess is that that is not going to hit the floor. Very rarely happens. I like to say if you're a gymnast, a dancer, Cirque du Soleil body, maybe that will come towards the floor a little bit more. But this is a joint mobilization. You want to feel it in that joint. To make that see and go, yeah, it's somewhere in there. And in that position, not only does the joint get to move, but the connective tissue around it, the joint capsule, it's like a plastic bag that holds the fluid in. Just letting that capsule elongate, get a little bit bigger. Like this, it's like stretching saran wrap. Do not move too far into this. Other place that we don't want you to feel it would be this front knee. If you're feeling it in the knee, we definitely don't have your knee in a good position. You may want to extend your knee or flex your knee back a little bit more. The other strategy is to pull your toe up towards your knee. That's a dorsiflexion of the ankle and then release. Sometimes that's enough to get it out. Not, try a block. Try a block. Now I'm farther from the floor in this position, but it might have brought some ease to that knee. When you're done there, let's bring the hands forward. I'm going to ask that you keep the back relatively straight. It's a straight back leaned forward. That way the motion can come from the hip joints. We're going to start to ease ourselves forward now. If I were real smart, I would have brought this bolster with me, and I might be able to come down and simply let my body rest. There's a lot of things that you can do with this bolster. I'm still going to be in this flat back position. I've got the bolster wedged in, so my chest is resting upon it. I want minimal work for my upper body. You might have seen me make an adjustment. That shoulder was shrugged up. Other option is bolster going the other way. You have to kind of play with the bolsters and find what's appropriate for you. And in this position, this is a nice variation of pigeon, which can be pretty aggressive as a stretch, can be pretty aggressive on your pelvis, your sacroiliac joint. If you are hypermobile in there and experience pain, we don't want you to stretch it. If it is locked in place, you need something gentle to unlock it. So this is a nice option here. If you are feeling a stretch, it would be appropriate to feel it on the front leg glute, back side of that hip, maybe moving down your thigh just a little bit, but it's the front legs, pelvis, glute. Right now, I'm feeling it a little bit in the muscle. I may find that I can go just a little bit farther. Now you have two options. I like this flat back option because I like to have the soft tissue of my pelvis, the gluteal tissues addressed. If you choose to round, it is way more relaxing for most people. And now we're looking at the curve of your back. So you may be able to go farther here, right? As you round the back, know that your pelvis, when you do that, tucks under. The stretch on the glute will be different. I'm going to come back up to that flat back position because that's where I'm choosing to stay today. But the choice is yours. Up here, it's a little more work for my upper body. The stretch is coming in the back side of the glute. And because I feel it stretching, I know that this is now a yin posture. Connective tissue is invited to change shape while the muscles completely shut down. If you feel nothing here, it's because nothing's tight. Your body is uh, flexible, has a good range of motion, whether that's soft tissue or the joints itself. That's what's available. For some people, just resting here for 10 minutes is completely appropriate. Again, in these short practices, I very often have you come out of these positions faster than your body would like. As you are ready, let's push yourself up, push ourselves up. Again, that was as you are ready. Again, with all these practices, it's up to you. I'm giving guidance. You have creative license to do absolutely whatever you see fit to do. I'm going to be in this double triangle position. I'm going to take this back leg and I am going to help it up. It has been internally rotated. That is not a position a lot of people see with their hips. So I'm going to help it up from there. While I do that, I'm going to bring this leg a little farther across, walk this leg over. And we looked at this position yesterday, I think, while we were lying on our backs. We crossed our legs and brought our knees in towards our chest. It's the same thing, seated variation of it. Now, I would like it if my knees were all the way crossed. That is not available to everybody. And I want all of that to stay lined up with the center of my body. In a real world where I just came out of a yoga textbook, my knees are going to be on the floor. I'm going to be folded forward. I'm going to be doing all sorts of party tricks. That's not what's going on today. So I'm going to take this block and put it under my knees. I may even start with my hands back behind me. Oh, now I'm going to call in some ease to that lumbopelvic area. My pelvis is tucked a little bit. Simply crossing the leg all the way like this is way too much for some people. So guess what you're going to do? Separate the knees. We don't always have to go to the full expression. The full expression is exactly that. The full expression of a posture is exactly that when your body is ready to move that way. If you have a lower back and hips that are designed to hold you in place, if your job is holding still, if you have to block everybody from getting through, right? If you have a job that says, hey, keep low to the ground and block out, flexibility of the hips is not what you're looking for. You don't want hypermobile pelvis, not always appropriate. What is appropriate for your body? Now, in this position, don't want your ankles tucked back to your bum. I like to say in the like full expression of this, I'm going to take my ankles, just keep pulling them out to the side as the body's allowed to keep crossing. Try putting my hands here and sit up. I just took my pelvis out of that tucked, completely different on my hips. I can use my arms to hold myself up in this position if I like, or I can come to a little more ease. Same thing with you. Again, some of you are going to not have the block there. You are going to be folded up in a ball. And the stretch, if there is one present for you, the stretch, the elongation, back side of the body, right? The hips are being adducted in a big way. Both of them are being adducted. The joints are going to want to pull out a little bit, right? The joint capsule is going to have to perhaps extend a little bit to allow that the joint itself, that hip mobility. And then I've been talking and I haven't been panting, so I know my body's at ease. But how is your breath right now? A body at ease breathes at ease. A body at ease is in its preferred neurological state. Again, if distress is happening in the other room and you have to go, then your body should act accordingly. You should adrenalize, you should be able to pop up and go. If that is not the case, the invitation, the practice is, can I come back to ease at the end of the day? Can I, after a stress, simply come back to my body's preferred place, its home base of ease? Again, note how you're feeling on the hips. Note how this feels to you today. I can do this with a smile. Historically, I like this posture. Here's a good one. Just rotate your torso around a little bit. You're going to see how that offers just a little bit different stretch. Again, these are not big circles. They're as far as your body wants to go. We now know that connective tissue actually, used to act in complete stillness. That was in the yin yoga world. What we were told to do is complete stillness. I used to say, I don't know, if you're a movement-based person, sometimes I think the movement is a little more inviting. Yeah, you can get there more quickly. Now we know that that is the case. Sometimes a little gentle, repetitive movement is what brings you back into ease in those states. To get out of this, if that's what you're ready to do, help yourself up, grab this top leg, get it out of there. Grab this bottom leg, help move it. And then let's bring the legs down straight and shake them out a little bit. Change the blood flow. I'm doing something that I don't like it when everybody else does. You don't have to collapse in your arms like that. We're going to sit up. We're going to come into the other triangle. So left leg will be in front, right leg back. We check the triangle. Is it indeed heel above the knee here? Don't let that back leg come too far back. Sometimes that feels good. I'm going to check in. How's my knee doing? Can I touch that ankle? There's the back side, the bottom part of that triangle back there. My left arm is going to use to support me. I don't have to work to hold myself up. That arm is going to do it. Lift the pelvis up. That's a tucking of the tail, uh, tuck of the pelvis. Release it as if the pelvis could come to the floor. Those are gentle. Those are rhythmic in nature. Again, we know that the body responds to something that's rhythmic in nature. Our connective tissue does, as does our nervous system. It is why we rock babies. It is why we offer just a little bit of movement. It's why we like rocking chairs, right? So if you could just do only a tiny bit of work, but just offer that little bit of rocking to the body, how does it respond? How does the tissue respond? How does your nervous system respond? I'm going to grab my bolster. Forgot to bring it with me. I'm going to bring mine up here because I know I'm going to need it. Flat back starts to lean forward. If you're feeling a stretch, it should be in the glute of the front leg. I say the glute, but for many of you, it's going to be way deeper than that. It's going to be, I don't really feel like my butt tissue. It's deeper. Could be the capsule, could be that whole line of that very, very strong fascia back there, lower back, and in the hip region, all the way down to the IT band. You might be feeling this in the sacroiliac joint. Suffice it to say, if you're feeling something, it should be in the back side of the body here. If all you're feeling is a compression, a pinch in the front, get up, move around a little bit. Don't get up, just sit up from here. Allow that front hip to move. Take the pinch out. It's normal that it should or might occur. It's just not what we're looking for. A block underneath the front knee might help with that. You have the option of staying in this flat back position. Easy for me right now because my rib cage is resting on this bolster. You can always choose to round. That is a different has a different effect on the body because the whole back of my body is round now. I might feel it somewhere between the base of my skull, anywhere all the way down to the pelvis. All of that is appropriate. Check in breath, the body at ease, breathes at ease, in ease, with ease. Perhaps you've noticed when you got into the position, you just sighed. That's a gentle trigger to your body. It says, ah, not a stress trigger, but a trigger that says, ah, back to ease. Perhaps you notice that your body automatically came back to the straw. That's why we train that. You may notice that one side feels tighter, less mobile than the other. If it feels rather therapeutic to stay here, oh, I think this side is tight, it could use some extra time. In your daily practice, you may want to do that. Spend a little more time on the side that needs catching up. Very often people say, if you do one side, you have to do the other. No, you don't. Not if you are doing a bit of remedial work, right? A little bit of corrective work. We go on the side that's too tight if you want it more flexible. Just like if you were doing a workout and you just gotten out of a cast, you have to spend a little extra time on that weaker side, right? Not everybody, I would say no body is completely symmetrical in range of motion and strength. It's just something that we look at and say, huh, how's that working for us? Not being symmetrical. You'd like, stay right here. Not, you can use your arms to push yourself up, get that bolster out of the way, help that back leg up and let it cross the body. The front leg is going to scoot over just a little bit more. Front leg's going to cross over. I am trying to get my knees crossed in the center of my body, which I can do even if I let go. I think I might want to grab this block and say, how would I best support myself today? It's not quite 2 blocks. Let me go a little bit higher. Which wants to slide. So I can find my way to center, can find my ankles and get that sense of if those hips were more, if there were more range of motion available to them, I might be able to do this. That's not really happening now. It's a lot of work for my abdominal muscles to hold me up here. Not so much that I'm grunting and panting, but it is some work. So I'm going to take the work out. My prop is my arms. Ah, there it is, just all relaxed. Some of you, it's going to be farther back. Some of you, it's going to be farther forward. Some of you will be all the way here. Some of you will be here. We are looking for something that's either completely comfortable because your body has this much range of motion. There's no stretch at all, which means you are in a position of ease. Nothing's tight, nothing's stretching. I call that the place where you just sit on a park bench and relax. For most of us, there is going to be something that has a tension in it in the form of a stretch. Not really looking for that pinch there. If you've got that, find a way out of it. We're not looking for the compression. I'm going to use my arms just a little bit. I think they're resting, but they may have to hold a smidge. And I know that this stretch is offered in the back side of my body, somewhere between the base of my skull. And for me, it's all in the pelvis right now. Hip joints are being put in that stress where they're wanting to come out. They're not going to. The next layer around that, again, that capsule, it's like a plastic bag that holds the fluid in. If that were to get just a little bit longer, we could think about creating a little space in there. The fluid's allowed to get more around the joint surfaces. That's synovial fluid. Talk about it like oiling a hinge, lubing the hinge. I quite naturally just added this little bobble here because that is inviting just a little more ease about me. Breath. I want you to put some thought into how this side feels. Do you have a side that was, I'll say, tighter, more restricted? And if you'd like, you can come back to my tighter side was that one. But if it were the other, what would happen if I came back to that side now? I'm going to switch and just see what happens. And I'm almost comfortable with no block. For the bobble again. There's great science to saying, well, I have a side that's weak. I have a side that's tight. I have a side that's not working properly. And most often we actually go to the other side first in training and conditioning and rehab. We actually go to the other side first, let the other side see what's going on. And we know that very often, even in a matter of a couple of minutes, strength and range of motion increases. And on the affected side, strength, range of motion, and even pain reduction comes to the second side, the side that you may think needs all the attention. So sometimes a little back and forth. Start with the more well side. Even doing that much has offered a little bit of shift for me in this hip. These at one time for me were, this was about one of my favorite positions to sit in. It always felt very good. And somewhere in time, I've let it tighten up. Part of that is, I think I got a little hypermobile in those hip joints for a while. It wasn't necessary to have them, so I actively let them tighten, worked on that. So it's fun to come back and say, not my favorite position anymore, but perhaps more appropriate. Let those legs come out if you're ready to do so. Shake them out. Just let the blood flow come back to those joints that were flexed. Find a final resting posture for yourself today. That was a lot of bending on the knees. I'm definitely going to support my feet here, maybe even bring my legs a little farther apart. You might be lying flat on your back in a traditional shavasana. It might be flat on your back with your legs over. You may be sitting in that first double triangle because that's what you chose to do. Let's find our way back to stillness, inviting ease to our body. These last couple of minutes, check in breath. Notice any work that your body is doing. If there's a way that you can bring just a little more ease about you. Again, we find that vagus nerve response, that parasympathetic response. That breath of the imaginary straw is going to get you there 80%. Got three other cranial nerves that help with the process. The check-ins are eyes, steady gaze, a little forward and down. You might notice when you do that that the second check-in automatically occurs. So eyes, steady gaze, a little forward and down. Muscles of your face relaxed. And structures within your mouth at ease. That is jaw unclenched, throat unconstricted or restricted. Tongue relaxed, jaw, eyes, face, mouth, and breath. if it's an appropriate time and you and your mind and your body are ready. It's a deeper than normal inhale through your nose. Exhale with that audible sigh, which we use to mark the completion of your practice, the completion of our time together this evening. Appreciate you being here. Thanks for joining me.